Hey, this is Pinky Ghelani and you are watching Pinky TV. It is What Women Want and Season 3 is all about unlearn. We are filming at Gem Suites in Riverside in Nairobi, Kenya, and these conversations are brought to you by SBM Bank Kenya. If you'd like to win a brand new phone from Safaricom, I suggest you watch all the way till the end, and I'll give you those details in a little while. If you are on Facebook, make sure you leave a comment. Let us know where you are watching from, and if you are on YouTube, subscribe to this channel so you are amongst the first to get conversations like this. I love this job because I get to meet all sorts of people from all walks of life, and I'm privileged because they share conversations with us which are so real and extremely authentic. Farah Khaleck is my guest today. Hi, Farah.
Hi, Pinky.
I love having you here.
I love you so much.
Farah, I'm going to ask you to do something. You know, on this show, we ask our guests to introduce themselves because we want to unlearn this fact that we need to be introduced. So tell us who you are and what you do.
Wow. My name is Farah Khaleck, and as a brand, I champion positivity, self-love, inner strength, and motivation. I'm also a content creator, digital marketer, and an influencer. I hope I'm getting there.
Yes, you are. Own it.
Yes. As a motivational speaker, I advocate for a positive body image through self-acceptance and self-appreciation.
I love it.
Yes, and I try to inspire life each day.
You really do. You really do. I'm going to get into that in a little while, like how you inspire people, not only within Kenya, but all over the world. You are such an amazing, bright, beautiful light. But I'd like to know, Farah, a little bit about you, like your upbringing. I think I know your brother. But tell us about, you know, how you grew up, your mom, your dad, and your siblings.
Well, as you might know, Punjabi family. So we had a great upbringing, alhamdulillah. My parents were very loving, very caring. Our upbringing was very nice, comfortable. I was pampered a lot, being the only girl.
Oh, are you the only girl? Okay.
Yes.
Are you the youngest?
Yes.
Ah, the baby of the family.
Yeah, I'm the baby, so I was allowed to bully all my brothers. And alhamdulillah, we've been great. We've had a great childhood. Lots of support from family since, you know, growing up. We played a lot together. We fought a lot together. We still do. And yeah, it's been good.
For you to become a motivational speaker, for you to be able to inspire other people, who inspired you in your whole family? Who gave you this confidence that this is who you are and what you can do?
My mom. No one else. My mom. She has been with me through it all, through my darkest of phases, and she was the only hand that I could hold on to, you know, and just feel like it will be over one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your biggest challenge. You were how old? 17? 18?
Yes, I was 17, 18 then.
Give us like a breakdown of what happened and when you realized that there's something amiss and I need to go see a doctor.
I used to wake up in the morning and my face used to be swollen. You know, there was a lot of swelling on my face, my hands, a lot of swelling, like they were double the size. And then after a few hours of waking up, like just 2 hours maybe, it would just go back to normal, you know? And I'll be like, okay, it's okay, it's back to normal, you know? But then I'd feel a bit tight, you know, in my whole body. I just feel tight in the morning. Stretching was hard, you know, like I couldn't stretch as much as I used to. Being a 17-year-old, 18-year-old there, just fresh from high school, and already, you know, I landed my first job. I was in college, and I also got a job offer, so as an administrator, and I was like, I'm doing it, you know, I want to be independent, I'm all over the place, you know, so trying to multitask, and you're seeing, you're not as active as you are, you know. I used to have dark skin on my knuckles. My skin just became dark, black, literally black. that's when I was like, no, there's something wrong. There is something wrong. You know, we went to the family physician first, and just after numerous tests, you know, there's this deficiency, that deficiency, you know, thyroxine, just take the medicines. Okay, started, started all the supplements, but still, you know, and there's a shift in my body. Okay, and literally, if something falls down, I can't pick it up. And why can't I go all the way down? I mean, I used to do, until yesterday I could. You know, what just happened? We are Muslims, when we are praying, we have to go down, we have to sujood. I can't bend down on my knees. Like, why? You know? And as an 18-year-old, it doesn't make sense. Like,
sure.
I mean, your body changing, your body restricting you, you know, physical movements, that doesn't make sense as an 18-year-old. At that time you're thinking about, hey, I need to look good, I need my hair not right, I need to do my eyebrows, you know. That's all. That's what's in your head, you know. You have friends, you have to keep up with them, you know. Yeah, that's how it started.
So, when you finally got diagnosed, and the doctor said to you, okay, you have scleroderma. That's what it's called? What went through your mind? What did the doctor tell you? What did he prepare you for?
Funny enough, I wasn't prepared at all. When we were here in Kenya, there was a misdiagnosis. I was diagnosed for lupus.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Okay, never heard. Okay, there's no cure. They just told me straight out. I'm like, okay, you know, we didn't believe them.
Yeah.
Because I mean, here in Kenya, you need to go to 10,000 doctors to, you know, to hear everything and then try and decide, okay, who was close enough, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a hassle.
It's a hassle. It's expensive.
Yes, very. And then a friend of my dad's told him to go to India. You need to get some opinion from there. So dad is like, you know, let's go. So we went. This was in 2006, 7 there. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. They was 2 years into the disease, and I was still not diagnosed correctly. So I'm still changing. My body is completely restricted now. I can't move enough. You know, I'm literally hard, stiff.
Wow.
And we go there, they do a bunch of tests, you know, the whole day. In the evening, you go to the doctor, and straight out, you have scleroderma, and there's no cure for this. We're writing some steroids for you to manage it, and that's it. So mom is like, do we need to stay on for more treatment or anything we need to do? No, there's nothing. Maybe you can come back after an year, we can check how it is. And I'm like, you came all the way to hear that, you know? At that time, I went with my mom and my brother, and the three of us just looked at the doctor blankly, you know. I looked at them, and they were like, really no expression, but yeah, it's not a big deal, kinda, you know, to show me. But they were both confused as well, I'm sure. And I'm like, what does she mean there's no cure? I thought you just had medicines and, you know.
You get better.
Yeah, and we get back to normal.
Sure.
You know, I need to go back to work. And they're like, no, let's start the medicines, maybe it will get better, you know. So I'm there like, oh, you know, I want to start crying, you know. Then I'm seeing my mom, they're like normal, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's not a big deal, you know, let's just go.
So did he explain to you what it was?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I found out about this disease on my own thinking. I used to Google, and I used to read a lot. I saw other testimonies of patients, and I'm like, oh, it's getting bad. It will get bad. Like, there's no place I saw that there's a cure, and it just those whatever the doctor told me was just ringing in my head. That was the only thing that stayed in my head at that time, and this was for a period of the first 5 years of the disease, of the condition. And I'm sorry to say this, but I just despise doctors.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, I don't like them. I don't.
Do you know what causes this?
No, there's no known cause.
So it's a rare disease.
It's a very rare disease.
Okay.
Women get it at the age of 40 and above.
Okay.
And so I was a rare case as well. And there's someone who's at 9 years. She's also got it.
Wow.
A girl, and yeah, it's hard.
So it's debilitating, is it? As time
Yeah.
goes on, it gets worse?
It gets worse.
What happens?
And fatal as well,
And
if
fatal.
it affects your lungs. So once it gets to the organs, it starts affecting your lungs. Breathing is an issue, and then, it's fatal.
So now you're 15 years after your diagnosis. What happened? What changed you when you were like, you know what, actually, I'm not going to play a victim. I'm actually going to be this person who talks about body positivity, who motivates other people to get up and get on with life, who talks about self-love and acceptance. What happened? Because I'm sure by the time you came back from India, or even like you said, 5 years afterwards, you were not in a good space.
No, thank you. I was in a dark space. And then almost my constant, get up, literally pulling the blanket off, like, you have to get up. I'm like, I don't want to get up. I can't move, Mom. And she's like, yes, you can. Get up. Let's go to the mall. Let's go to the function, family functions. She never made me miss anything, At that point, I was really bitter. I was angry. I used to fight with her a lot. And I sometimes tell her, Mama, here's you the toughest time, And she's like, no, mothers, bless them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was really, really in a horrible stage. Thinking, I know I was afraid to look into the mirror. In a Punjabi family, you know how our families are, with big extended families, everyone around you, we're all at the same age. So all my cousins, imagine getting together and just seeing everyone so normal, and you're weird.
No.
Okay. I'm not
I
supposed
I have tissue ready. One for me, one for you.
And it was hard. It was hard to look at everyone and just wonder, why are you like this, I wasn't really religious as well. My family, my grandma used to pray. And at that point, I used to blame God a lot. I always literally, we broke up completely with God. I used to say, if I can't do sujood down, I'm not gonna pray, because it's your fault. If you want me to sujood, make me better.
Yeah.
And that was wrong. That was really wrong.
No, you were angry, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's normal.
I had a Facebook account, and I deleted it because it was affecting me even more. I mean, seeing your friends, moving on in life, and you're in a room. It's hard.
Of course it
It's
is.
hard. So, and then I found Twitter, thank God. I found Twitter in 2009. Twitter was fun. I didn't have to post anything, you just write whatever you feel like. And it was fun. I loved it there. I still do. I really do. Now I love Clubhouse.
Yes, I know.
But I love Twitter. I just love expressing myself. Then I stumbled upon blogs and I read a few, especially Sharon Mundia's blog. I used to follow her a lot. And I just used to love her fashion and I was like, I wanna do that. I wanna, be fashionable and take pictures and I was obviously conscious of myself. And on Twitter, you don't need to show yourself. So I was like nicely hiding behind the keyboard and just sharing myself. Um, and then I started to write also. I found freedom in writing. I used to write just anything, just write. Sometimes I even had a blog, but I lost it. But it was fun, it was nice to create. I think I found creating
Content.
creating content was freedom for me because I could create my ideas, I could create my thoughts, and bring them to life and see them and say, wow, I did that, I did that. As much as I can't do anything, I did that.
I don't think you should say you can't do anything.
Well, I do need help with a lot.
But you do so much. You are a force and you need to actually acknowledge that. And I know it's difficult to talk about it. I know it's difficult to go back into what brought you to this place. And I know that when you say, oh, it was wrong to fight with God, I tell you, I fought with God a lot of times. So I completely understand.
Yeah.
And, it is normal to have these emotions, to feel angry, to be pissed off when you see other people getting on with their lives and you question, why me?
Why me?
How
Yeah.
come me? What did I do?
Exactly.
Did I eat something?
Yeah.
Did I say something? And I think God sometimes pushes us into something because you are actually made for bigger things.
True.
You know?
My uncle once told me, do you know God loves you a lot? And I looked at him and like, I don't think so. Don't say that. He's like, he loves you a lot. Why? You don't know that. I'm like, how? How does he love me? Look at me, And and then YouTube came on at that time. So there was a lot of hijab tutorials.
Yes.
And I used to watch those and I'm like, wow, I want to wear the hijab now.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, okay, here we go, another phase. She's like this girl. I'm like, no, Mom, I'm serious. She's like, no, you can't play with it. You can't joke with it.
Yeah.
If you're wearing it, wear it for the right reasons,
Yes.
I do it for God. And I'm like, him again.
That relationship again.
Yeah, him again. I'm like, okay, so why am I liking this? And they would just pop up. Obviously, if you watch one video, they'll just show you something of the same kind.
Yes.
So I'm like, I had watched a dozen, and then somehow I started to read again. I started to, and not even like opening the Quran, but online. I stumbled upon Islamic blogs and people, just talking about the teachings of the Prophet ﷺ, the teachings that we need to follow. And somehow, I liked reading them and I used to go back to them. And then I started praying, even sitting on the chair, yeah. I did that. I wouldn't follow all 5, but yeah, I would pray. And I don't know, somehow I liked that I could move my hand and, wear the chunni and pray. Okay, I've done that. It feels good to move around. So yeah, I'm doing that. And then I have a dream. I I dreamt and I saw myself in a hijab, in a white hijab. And I'm like, I woke up and I'm like, Mom, I want to wear the hijab. She said, huh? Not again,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm serious. And we had to go out that day. I'm like, no, I'm not leaving without the hijab. And she's like, wow, okay, come here, like she just gave in and she made me wear it. And I was thinking, I never used to look into the mirror. As you know, I used to look and just be like, okay,
Yeah.
you know, take it away. Um, but then that day I stopped and I went and stood in front of the mirror. And that day I smiled.
Wow.
That day I looked at this girl in the mirror and I looked at her and I looked into her eyes and I saw her dreams. I saw her aspirations. And she just wanted to live. And I thought to myself, why? Why am I stopping her? And I'm saying her because, yeah, because that's what I was doing to her, you know, to Farah. And Farah is a whole being, you know, we always forget that.
Farah's a whole vibe.
We always forget that we need ourselves more than that need coming from someone else, you know. We need to be there for ourselves first. Before Pinky comes and tells me that I'm a wife, I need to look into the mirror and say, wow, you are amazing and you look awesome today. You know, before Pinky tells me. And that's when I promised her in the mirror that we're going to live our best life, you know. And I don't know why or what plan God has, that He's given me this. Fine. It was a long journey reaching there, thinking it wasn't easy. We've been through a lot as a family. We've tried all sorts of treatments, you know, everywhere. Herbal, non-herbal, all, you know. I've heard a lot being said about this condition, but at that moment I just said, this is you and you're going to live. And yeah, just start living.
So that was the moment it's flipped.
Yeah, that was the moment. When I wear all my hijab, I loved myself. I loved to look at myself. I was like, oh, it's on, you know, let's do this, let's do that. You look nice.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just gave me the strength. Somehow, it just did. And it's not that I don't wake up angry or what
Yes.
every other day. I do. There are days when I'm like, why, you know, why, you know, why? I want to do so much, you know, but then I remind myself of that promise. I constantly take that journey every single day to remind myself that this is you and you gotta pull through it. It's another day. Let's do this.
That's powerful.
Thank you.
When you were going through all of this, did you find that people changed?
Yeah, a lot. I used to get a lot of stares whenever I used to go out. People looked, people stared in shock, in pity, you know, a lot in pity.
Did you lose friends?
I lost friends because of me.
Okay.
Not because of them.
Yeah.
Because I completely
Cut
shut.
off.
Yeah, I shut my Facebook account. I lost contact with them because I was afraid to explain. You know, why am I changing? I hated myself, and I was like, I wonder how they must be feeling. You know, when they see me. You know, like even now when I meet someone, in my head I'm like, what are they thinking? You know, are they looking at my hands? Are they looking at my skin? Are they looking at my teeth? You know,
Yeah.
it always comes in my head. And you know, with friends, it's uncomfortable. Like, you know, why am I changing? I don't know myself, first of all. You know, so yeah, I look weird now. You know, so I was afraid of questions. I was afraid of those looks, and so I lost a lot of friends. But I made so many as well.
You've made a lot of friends now. When we look at ourselves in the mirror, no matter what we look like, sometimes we don't like what's looking back at us. What advice would you give to somebody who is in that position, whether it's a weight issue, or if you're going through chemotherapy and you've lost hair, or if you have a scar or bad teeth, or anything. There's a lot of things that we look at and we criticize ourselves for. What advice would you tell us when we look in the mirror? What should we tell ourselves?
Thank you. When I look into the mirror, I don't see anything. I don't see my skin, my teeth, my nose. I see what I love. And I remind myself that there's something I love about myself. And I look into the mirror and like, God, your eyes. Oh, I love your eyes. Or I go like when I'm drawing the eyebrows, I'm like, damn, these eyebrows. No one would ever, So I accept whenever we look into the mirror, we always look at something that's wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the first thing we go to.
We're always looking at, why is this pimple here? I love my pimples. I want them to stay there.
Because your pimples are a sign of your skin going back to normal.
Yes, I love my pimples, so I even name them, and when they're gone, I'm like, oh man,
I miss you.
And my friends are like, my sister nowadays is like, you're crazy, how can you love pimples? I'm like, you girl, I love them. Yeah. And I was, so when we look into the, thinking who's, when we were young or even now, we have posters on the wall, right, of celebrities. Why don't we have posters of ourselves?
Absolutely. Yes, yeah.
Because when we look every single day at this poster, and you're like, Auntie, love you. Okay, unless it's Salman Khan, obviously.
Salman.
That's an exception. But why would I have another woman's teacher? She's amazing, mashallah, and they got to her. But I'm amazing too, and I'm going to look at myself every single day and remind myself, and that's what the mirror is there for. And I think we should even have our own posters, by the way. But yeah.
Signed by us.
Yeah.
With a little motivational quote.
And that's me, that's me there,
Yeah.
Have that poster. And so look into the mirror and don't look at the faults. Yeah, they're there. I mean, we can't all be the same.
Everybody has issues, yes, exactly.
We can't, I'm sure. And as you mentioned, chemo has even more changes to a person, their whole self-esteem. I know it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not. But just try to look into the mirror and find that person. Find that person who was there once, You'll see him or her. You'll see them.
And that's it. I think we're really not what we look like, Farah. We are who we are inside. Do you believe that?
True.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And had this not happened to you, maybe you would be a different person, do you think?
Absolutely.
You wouldn't have found your path on how you're inspiring others and motivating others.
I was a lot about my looks.
Okay.
A lot. I was really conscious. Like, I had to look my best all the time. Because I was like, I'm the best. And I feel like I was grounded. Like, that's not at all. That's not what beauty is.
No.
And I feel like God has made me realize what beauty really is. And today I look at everyone in a different way. I just find something in everyone.
Yes.
I no longer look at looks myself.
Yeah.
I no longer look at looks, because that was like, for me, that was, she's so pretty,
Yeah.
No, she's
Things have
pretty,
changed.
mashallah, good for her, But unless I meet you, I talk to you, is when I'll find a liking in you.
So what happens here now? So you've had stem cell treatment, which has made you feel better.
Yes.
And you still need more treatment.
Yes, I need to go for it. At least two more
treatments. And that was a doctor who told you that there's nothing wrong with you.
Oh, that was
This is the only doctor we like, is
Yeah,
it?
this is the only doctor we love. Doctor, oh my God. Um, he's just amazing. Um, when I went there, after seeing my reports, he was really shocked at how I traveled because my blood levels were so low, my hemoglobin. And I told him, yeah, I traveled, I don't know. I was just ready to hear the worst again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like, with a straight face,
Yeah.
yeah, tell me,
Yeah, give it to me.
Yeah, just give it to me. And he's like, you're better, you're going to get better. I'm like, huh? There was a switch instantly. And he's like, you're amazing, Farah, you're so beautiful. I really like you and all that. I'm like, huh? It really touched me that this man is telling me that I'm gonna get better, and like whoever and that, are you sure? No, I don't think so. There's any cure. Even when researching about stem cells, a lot of people told me, a lot of doctors here even told me that no,
Don't bother.
yeah, it's still under research. There's no much hope and whatnot. And I don't know why, but I just kept clinging on to it. And then I go and meet this doctor at Geostar Hospital. And I'm like, wow. Are you serious? He said, yes. Yes, why? Yes.
Yeah. I think it's important how doctors talk to us.
Very.
It can make or break.
Very.
It can make or break.
Very, very. Oh my God.
So let's talk about your social media life. Because you're a big star. I mean, like on Clubhouse.
Hardly.
No, but honestly, Farah, you don't know what you're doing. With every little thing that you do, you are changing perceptions, you're changing lives, you're inspiring others. I listen to your conversations on Clubhouse and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. People they look up to you, they listen to you, they get inspired by you. Did you ever think that you would be in that position?
No, never. Thank you. When Najma Ismail called me for my interview on KTN the first time, I went into that interview with the hopes of finding a cure. I was like, my mom was like, maybe someone, a doctor might see you and, we might find a cure.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And in my head, I'm like, I'm going to talk about this condition. And that's why she starts asking me about my day, what I do, and I'm blogging, and my website. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And my Facebook was a whole inbox,
Yeah.
It went crazy, my Instagram went crazy. And at that time, I was just posting half pictures,
Yes.
never my hands.
Yeah.
And even Najma was shocked when she told me. She didn't realize it was a whole condition. She thought it's a skin condition,
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, girls are texting me now, like, how are you so confident? You came on air, on TV, and I have a small scar and I don't go out.
Yeah,
I'm
there
like,
you go.
huh?
Yeah.
You don't go out? What?
'Cause of a
I
small
felt like
scar.
jumping
Yeah.
into that inbox and shaking her on the other end, like, girl, wake up, get out there. I was like, wow. And that's when I realized, oh my God, I actually do have a message. Like, why would you hide yourself, And that's what when I showed myself on TV, I was like, okay, all the whole hands, everything is going to come. At this time, even on Twitter, I wasn't so comfortable posting any pictures. And so I was like, okay, so I guess it's going to show.
Yeah.
Let it show, And I go on Jeff Koinange's show, and I'm like, first of all,
Yeah.
oh gosh, I realized that I actually do have a message.
Yeah.
And I realized that, oh my God, people are so insecure. And then it hit me. There was a time when I was insecure, Even I used to be like, oh no, I don't want to grow fat, because I was a big fat baby, since a child. And I had to lose weight, and I really wanted to lose weight as a girl growing up. I realized there's so many perceptions of beauty, coming from an Indian family, you know how a girl has to be. She has to be thin, she has to be tall, she has to be fair. You know,
Yeah.
you can't fit in that box. Not everyone can.
Yeah.
And everyone has their own box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, if we fit in that, that's the major thing. Like, one
Yeah.
step, done. And this is my box. This is me, you know, and there's nothing I can do to change it. And so why not live? Why not live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not live?
Yeah, why not live? I mean, you didn't hear this life, right?
Yeah.
God woke you up. You're breathing. Someone, my mom always tells me, Farah, you should always be thankful. Someone out there doesn't have legs, you know. Someone out there doesn't have hands. Someone can't see. Someone can't smell. You can, you know. I'm like, yeah, you know, at least I can wear the eyeliner. I remind myself of that, you know. Alhamdulillah.
The use of your fingers, you've taught yourself how
Yeah,
to
I use
how
my
to
thumbs.
use social media.
Yeah, I use my phone. I use my laptop.
So this is something
I
you've
use
taught
my
yourself.
camera. I sometimes all the videos you see, the
Yeah.
reels. I do that.
Oh, your reels are so cute. They're so cute.
I do that. I put it on the tripod. My mom is now a professional photographer.
Social media expert.
Yeah, she knows how to take pictures now. Under my expert direction,
Yeah.
of course. But she is an expert now as
Yeah.
well. She knows. I do
Wow.
the editing myself. I love creating. And the posters you see on my social, everything is me.
It's you.
Yeah.
What does your future look like in terms of your health? What do you expect?
I expect to progress, inshallah. I expect to go back for my treatment. I'm very hopeful. Somehow God will open my ways. Yeah, and then I'm excited about, you know, building Khaleck, my brand. You
Yeah.
know, I want to work with brands, other brands. I want to collaborate. I want to be independent. I want to be financially independent. I had a small internship last year in the beginning of 2020, and I was super excited
Yeah.
about it. And yeah, I want to work. I want to do stuff. I want to work with brands mainly just to break the stereotype. You know, yeah, you can use Pinky. You can also use me.
Of course.
You know,
Absolutely. I
I
think
also use your
Farah
products.
would have more influence.
I also use your products.
Yeah.
I want people like me to see me up there, to see me on the billboard, to see me on a magazine cover and say, you know what, if Farah can reach there, even I can. Because there's no representation for us. You know, people who are differently abled, people who are different. There's no representation out there. Like, why are we hidden? Why
Yeah.
are we hiding? I don't want you to hide. I want you to come out and live your life. Make space for us.
Yeah. Make space because you're coming.
Yes, I am.
Farah and I would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment. Let us know what you think of what Farah said. I think you've given us some amazing nuggets there, Farah. There's so much that we can learn from you. And, you know, it's more about what's going on inside. It's how we talk to ourselves, all that self-dialogue. It's how you're saying that I will get better. It's also, you know, just affirming it, not only to yourself, but to the world. Yeah. So let us know what you think of today's conversation and how you feel Farah's going to do. If you can support her on all her social media platforms as well, we'll make sure we tag her so you can follow her here. And also, if we can support your healing in some way or another, that would be amazing too, right?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right, so leave a comment and let us know. Of course, the more you interact and engage with this show, higher chances of you to win with Safaricom. Farah, thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for having me.
for being exactly who you're meant to be. More people should be like this. I think so, right? We should just show up as ourselves.
Definitely.
And stop being so insecure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, on this show, we teach you to be brave enough to learn, to unlearn. We'll see you again real soon. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.